What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Ilia Topuria recently expressed strong disappointment in Jack Della Maddalena's performance against Islam Makhachev. Speaking in an interview with Alvaro Colmenero following UFC Qatar, Topuria said he expected far more effort from the former welterweight champion. Instead, he felt JDM showed zero resistance and looked as if he didn't even want to be in the fight. Topuria explained that while Islam Makhachev did exactly what he always does, control the pace, slow down the action, and rely on a style he considers boring, Jack's lack of competitiveness was even more concerning. He mentioned that Islam doesn't care about putting on an exciting performance for the audience, sticking instead to his usual risk-free approach. However, Topuria made it clear that if he gets the chance to face Makhachev, fans will see a very different kind of fight. He believes Islam would become desperate trying to secure dominant positions and catch his breath, while Topuria plans to bring relentless pressure and sharp striking. According to him, the matchup would show a version of Islam that struggles under real pace and aggression, ultimately leading to Topuria putting him to sleep. Topuria concluded by saying he hopes the fight happens soon, confident that he would expose the weaknesses he sees in Makhachev's style and deliver a far more exciting and decisive performance than what the fans witnessed against Jack Della Maddalena. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way, you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Arman Tsarukyan recently voiced his frustration after seeing Paddy Pimblett suddenly appear in the top 5 of the lightweight rankings. Tsarukyan couldn't believe how quickly Pimblett climbed, especially considering the path he himself had to take. Paddy defeated Michael Chandler, which pushed him to number 8, but without beating any other top contenders, he continued to rise as the division shifted around him. Fighters lost, changed weight classes, or became inactive, and Pimblett simply floated upward until he reached number 5. For Arman, who has fought some of the toughest contenders in the division, the situation feels completely unfair. He's coming off a dominant win over Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar, and has consistently proven himself as a legitimate title threat. Yet, he's watching someone with far fewer accomplishments jump ahead through timing and popularity rather than merit. Tsarukyan pointed out that he had to win 5 or 6 fights in a row just to break into the top 15, while Paddy beat a lower-ranked opponent and somehow leapfrogged nearly the entire division. He called the ranking change fake, questioning how a fighter who defeated someone ranked around 12 or 13 could suddenly become number 5 fight. Arman also emphasized that as the clear number 1 contender, he should be next for the title. He believes giving Pimblett a title shot would be a joke and would make the UFC look unserious. After proving himself repeatedly and dismantling Dan Hooker, Tsarukyan feels he has earned his place, unlike Pimblett, who he says is benefiting from hype more than actual achievement. He ended by saying there's no way the UFC should choose Paddy over him for the next championship fight, reinforcing that he has done everything necessary to deserve the opportunity. Move on to another news. A recent viral video sent the MMA world into a frenzy after Khamzat Chimaev and Jon Jones were seen playfully wrestling in the street. What started as light sparring quickly escalated when Chimaev suddenly executed a clean takedown on Jones, something that stunned fans everywhere. This wasn't just any takedown. Jon Jones has one of the most dominant defensive wrestling records in UFC history, having surrendered only 2 takedowns across both the light heavyweight and heavyweight divisions. While some viewers brushed the moment off as harmless fun, Jon Jones later addressed the clip on social media and confirmed that the takedown was absolutely real. He even praised Chimaev's technique, giving the moment even more weight. The buzz didn't stop there. Alex Pereira appeared in an interview with Sports Illustrated's Greg Kelly, where he reacted to the viral moment and once again called out Jon Jones. Pereira acknowledged Jones' legendary status, saying that a fight between them would be massive for the sport. He jokingly added that after watching Chimaev take Jones down, maybe he could try the same. Pereira also spoke about the possibility of facing Chimaev in the future. He made it clear that he isn't avoiding the matchup, but explained that his own division still has several contenders he must deal with first. He mentioned that Chimaev would need to defend his belt before becoming a realistic opponent, and while Chimaev isn't his top priority right now, he remains a legitimate option down the line. Pereira concluded by saying that both the Jon Jones fight and a potential matchup with Chimaev are interesting possibilities, and he's open to seeing how the landscape develops as his career continues to rise. Move on to another news. The debate over who deserves the next shot at Ilia Topuria's lightweight title has intensified, and momentum is now shifting strongly toward Arman Tsarukyan. Even Daniel Cormier has thrown his support behind the idea, calling Tsarukyan the most dangerous and deserving challenger for Topuria. Following his dominant win over Dan Hooker, Tsarukyan didn't waste a moment celebrating. Instead, he declared that he was ready to retire quickly, fully healthy, injury-free, and prepared to spend 2 months training in the United States if needed. This puts him in perfect position for the early 2026 timeline the UFC is targeting for Topuria's next title defense. Stylistically, this matchup is one of the most compelling in the division. Arman is an elite grappler with a complete, high-level MMA skill set, and many fans are curious to see how Ilia's wrestling would hold up against someone of Tsarukyan's caliber. Topuria has shown impressive wrestling in his early UFC fights, but Arman's pressure, strength, and top control present a different kind of challenge, one that could push the champion to his limits. Still, with Topuria's current form, momentum, and dominance, many find it difficult to imagine him losing anytime soon. Daniel Cormier broke down the situation as well. He acknowledged Paddy Pimblett's potential, but made it clear that the two best lightweights right now, assuming Ilia Topuria remains at welterweight, are Tsarukyan and Topuria. Cormier said Pimblett, entering the cage after Topuria won the belt, felt out of place, as he didn't believe the Chandler win earned him that spotlight. Cormier emphasized that Tsarukyan's recent performance erased any doubts. He pointed out Arman's size, strength, elite wrestling, sharp striking, and especially his suffocating top control, all elements that make him a serious threat. According to DC, if anyone can replicate aspects of Makhachev's dominant grappling style, it's Arman Tsarukyan. Move on to another news. Jon Jones has agreed to a potential grappling match with Khamzat Chimaev, an idea that has the MMA world buzzing. Recently, footage surfaced of Chimaev and Jones grappling in Russia, where Jones is currently visiting. He revealed on X that he traveled to Russia to attend the birthday celebration of Ramzan Kadyrov's son and to finalize a major ambassador deal. Clips also appeared online showing Jones signing documents believed to be for an apartment in Grozny, the capital of Chechnya, though it's unclear whether he purchased the property or it was gifted to him. While in Russia, Jones and Chimaev linked up, and their impromptu grappling session was captured by Instagram user Rizvan82. In the video, Chimaev managed to take Jones down, a moment that immediately caught the attention of fans and fighters alike. Given Jones' legendary defensive wrestling, seeing him taken down was shocking to many. Jones responded on X, confirming the takedown was completely legitimate. He wrote that Chimaev is the real deal, praising his strength, conditioning, and skill. Jones added that grappling on concrete limited what he could safely do, but he expressed gratitude toward his Chechen hosts and said he would never forget his time there. Jones also reacted to the ongoing tension between Chimaev and Ian Gary, suggesting that Gary may be in trouble. He continued complimenting Chimaev, saying they shared a great dinner and describing him as humble, focused, and driven. Chimaev even told Jones he needed to drive 4 hours back into the mountains that same night to continue training. After the video spread online, Rizvan82 shared additional details, claiming Jones wanted a rematch because he wasn't satisfied with his performance. He wrote that the light sparring slightly favored Chimaev, and Jones became eager to run it back. According to the post, an offer was made to set up a more organized confrontation, and Jones immediately agreed. This has sparked speculation that Jones and Chimaev could compete in a formal grappling match, something that would be massive for the combat sports world. With the viral footage still circulating, fans are already debating who would win in a real matchup. Who do you think takes the victory? Move on to another news. Rumors began circulating online about a potential fight between Alex Pereira and Carlos Ulberg, scheduled for UFC 324 at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. The speculation started when Timothy Wheaton of Low Kick MMA posted on social media that he was hearing rumors of the matchup. He made it clear from the beginning that nothing was confirmed, yet the MMA world quickly erupted with reactions. The rumor gained so much traction that it began trending, prompting Ariel Helwani to personally address it on his show. Helwani explained that he had seen several reports claiming Pereira versus Ulberg was being targeted for the January 24th Paramount Plus card. After reaching out to his sources, he confirmed that the rumor was not true. According to Helwani, the UFC's current hope is still to book Alex Pereira for the White House card against Jon Jones. He emphasized that there had been zero discussions about a fight between Pereira and Ulberg. Helwani also clarified other fights rumored for the same event. He reiterated that Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes is indeed being discussed for the card, though he isn't sure if it will be the sole title fight. He added that Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett is not being discussed at all, which is why he previously adjusted his stance on that matchup. Helwani noted that fight plans within the UFC can change quickly. He acknowledged that the promotion could call fighters at any moment and make new offers. However, based on the information he gathered on Saturday night and again the following day after his show, the reports tying Pereira to Carlos Ulberg were inaccurate. In short, Alex Pereira versus Carlos Ulberg is not being targeted, and the focus remains on Pereira's potential showdown with Jon Jones, leaving the rumor firmly shut down by Helwani himself. Move on to another news. Starting with the welterweight division, Ian Garry made one of the biggest climbs of the week. After his impressive victory over Belal Muhammad, Garry moved up 4 spots and is now ranked number 2 in the division, placing him directly behind the top contender. Belal, meanwhile, drops 3 positions and now sits at number 5. In addition, Shavkat Rakhmonov moves up 1 spot and is now positioned at number 3, tightening the competition at the top of the welterweight ladder. Moving to the lightweight division, the rankings remain unchanged, following the bout between Arman Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker. Tsarukyan maintains his position as the number 1 contender at lightweight, while Hooker retains his spot at number 6. Despite no movement within the division rankings, Tsarukyan's strong performance still made an impact elsewhere. In the men's pound-for-pound rankings, Arman Tsarukyan rises after his win in Qatar and now holds the number 13 spot. Conversely, Belal Muhammad drops 2 spots and moves to number 15, following his loss to Ian Garry. In the flyweight division, Kyoji Horiguchi officially enters the rankings and makes an impressive debut at number 8. His recent performances have earned him a strong position among the division's elite. Finally, in the heavyweight division, Waldo Cortez Acosta makes a significant leap. Following his major victory, he now breaks into the top 5, marking a notable shift in the upper tier of heavyweight contenders. These ranking changes reflect the impact of standout performances at UFC Qatar and set the stage for several major matchups in the coming months. Let me know if you want a YouTube description, hashtags, or a title for this update. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley recently shared his thoughts on Arman Tsarukyan's latest victory and the growing conversation around a potential matchup with featherweight champion Ilia Topuria. With Tsarukyan holding the number 1 contender spot for some time, his performance naturally reignited online debate about whether the UFC should book Arman versus Ilia at lightweight. O'Malley acknowledged Tsarukyan's skill and praised him as a serious threat, saying Arman is no joke, and that a fight between him and Topuria would be a very compelling matchup stylistically. However, O'Malley also explained why he believes the UFC is unlikely to put that fight together right now. According to him, the promotion views Ilia Topuria as a valuable champion, someone who brings star power, excitement, and marketability to the division. Because of that, he doesn't think the UFC is eager to risk Ilia losing the belt in a high-risk matchup so soon. O'Malley went on to emphasize that Tsarukyan presents a legitimate danger to Topuria. He admitted that he initially hesitated to say it aloud, but he believes Ilia might be capable of knocking Arman out. Still, he noted that Tsarukyan is one of the very few fighters with the skill set, wrestling pressure, and conditioning to potentially defeat Topuria if Ilia ever moved up to 155 pounds. In O'Malley's view, if there is anyone who poses a real threat to Ilia at lightweight, Arman Tsarukyan is at the top of that list. O'Malley concluded by reiterating that the matchup is fascinating from a competitive standpoint, but he doubts the UFC will make it anytime soon due to the promotional value they see in keeping Topuria as champion. If the fight ever happens, he expects it to be one of the most high-level and unpredictable clashes in the lightweight division.